Now, I've shown you how to roast a chook the classic way in a roasting dish, but I've never shown you how to roast a chook in a stew pot. Now, I've just brought my chicken out of the fridge about 45 minutes ago. So bringing the chook out of the fridge so it comes to room temperature is so important. If you don't, what will happen is it will overcook on the outside and it'll still stay quite cold in the center. So it's going to take a long time for the heat to get through. So that's come to room temperature now. I'm also going to tuck the wing tips just underneath the chicken breast, just so it's nice and tidy when it cooks. And now we'll add a generous amount of extra virgin olive oil over the chicken, and we'll season it generously with salt, also in the cavity, some freshly cracked pepper. And I've been preheating my stew pot. Now I'll add the chicken, and we want to add it breast side down first. We want to get a nice even caramelization on the chook till it's perfectly golden brown. Then I'll remove the chook and we'll add some onions and some bacon, which works really nicely with this chook. Now this is softened nicely. You can see the bacon's going really crispy now. I'm going to add some rosemary. You could use some thyme if you like, also some bay leaves. I'm just going to cut it off my little tree here, and we'll add that to our bacon and onions. Smells so good. Also some carrots. They're nicely washed, and I'm just going to cut them on an angle just like this. Perfect. Now they can go in and just coat them in that delicious bacon fat. And now I'll deglaze this pan with some wine. So good old classic white wine. I'm using a Chardonnay. And when we say deglaze, what we want to do is just scrape away any of those caramelized bits that have stuck to the base of the pan, because that's flavor. Now that the alcohol is cooked off, and it really takes moments, we will add our chicken. And it can sit on that bed of onions, just like a little nest. And I'll add, say, about 25 grams of butter, and I'll add that in and around the chook, on top of it also, so it stays moist. And who doesn't love a roast chook with some gravy? So I'll add some stock now, and this gravy will develop along with that white wine as the chook cooks. And you really don't need much. I'm going to add half a cup, and that's it. Now there's two stages of this cooking. I'm going to add the lid, and we'll roast it in the oven for about 35 minutes. Then I'm going to remove the lid and cook it for a further 15 minutes just to make sure that skin is super golden brown. Now, while the chicken is cooking in the oven, I can prepare another vegetable that's going to go in it. These are the most adorable kaleettes, which is a hybrid of Brussels sprouts and kale. See, they've got those gorgeous purple-green leaves. They've got a lovely sweetness once they're cooked. Now, there's not much to do here because I want to leave them whole. I'm just going to take off that small little stalk there. And I'll add this to the chicken when I take the lid off, when there's 15 minutes left in the cooking process. Chicken is absolutely perfect. It's caramelized on the top, and the kaleettes only needed that 15 minutes to cook at the end. Now, I've just allowed it to rest for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm going to remove the chicken really carefully from the stew pot. You can see that it's so soft. All of those juices we want to just remove from the cavity, and then we'll place that onto a plate. And now I'm going to place this into my presentation platter. I love to use a shallow platter for this. This is the best smelling gravy, particularly because it's got that gorgeous bacon through it and the onions, the sweetness from the carrots, and those kaleettes just look fantastic. Now, just with my tongs, I'll spread that out just to show off all those ingredients, make a little well in the center for our chicken to sit up proudly. We'll pop that there. That is just the perfect roast, really easy to do. And the best thing about it, it's all done in one pan. That chicken's going to be super moist. And I tell you what, that with some crispy potatoes, that's heaven.